time in 2017 when we were in Glendale. But I do want to start off this way. I don't know if you got a chance yesterday. I made my kids sit down yesterday. I hope you had a chance to, the first time since 1972? We hit the shuttle launch yesterday. That was awesome. I got a chance. I told my kid, we had them come in. They're like, you guys got to watch this. First time we're going to be around the moon since 1972. It was amazing.
How old are you?
48. So I was not,
so
this was 5 years post, or I was born 5 years later.
So this is the deepest humans have ever gone into space in either of our lifetimes.
All right, time.
Well, yesterday.
Dude,
they're already deeper into space than humans have ever been in our lifetime.
Yes. Just mesmerized, honestly. We stopped everything we were doing. We were making dinner. It was perfect timing. Queued it up on the TV. The countdown started. And just mesmerized. History in most of our lifetimes.
What was surprised after years of watching the shuttle, it was pretty amazing to see how fast that thing got off the pad yesterday. It went from on the ground to 20 miles up in what felt like
it was 8 minutes to orbit.
Yeah.
8 minutes. 8 minutes to orbit. And at one point I saw it was going like 25,000 miles an hour. Crazy. It brought back like memories for me. Going back, I believe I was talking with a buddy. Like, I think I was, what do we decide? I think I was 8 or 9. 8 or 9. I got like anxiety a little bit too, just because of this. Let me go back. I think we were 8 or 9 when there was the, 9 years old, January 1986. The unfortunate Challenger situation. It gave me a little anxiety as they were launching, because I remember being in school and us being able to watch it and the teachers scrambling to cut it off. So like, oh my, there was no remote back, they were scrambling. But my kids were able to watch this, and just and they're like, to hear the control center say what's about to happen. All the stuff that came with it was just amazing to me as we on that, was it 10-day journey? 10 days, just 10 days.
Yeah. Because they're orbiting the Earth and slingshotting themselves up to the moon.
Slingshot. Didn't that sound awesome?
And they go up there and circle the moon and slingshot off the moon. So what's really cool is once they get up there, once they get to the moon, there's no propulsion.
No.
They are going to come back home by just nailing the math in terms of their exit angle off of the moon. And they're going to use the gravitational pull to sling them back towards Earth. And you'll just go forever. But they have it lined up so that they're going to be zooming back to Earth just using the gravitational pull. Which, correct me if I'm wrong here, this is kind of like a test mission to eventually go to the moon, to use slingshots in order to slingshot yourself around the Earth and the moon and back around the Earth to slingshot yourself to Mars, I believe.
It's definitely a but what an amazing mid-afternoon. Was it mid-afternoon?
About 5:30.
5:30. I can't remember. We were just,
because I pulled the I was in here doing the Average Joe's Fortune. I pulled the stream up and I said, "Oh, hey, by the way, Schmitty and Justice, Artemis, we have liftoff," and they didn't care.
What?
They didn't care.
You sports people.
Right?
You sports people.
This is one of the
history
monumental events of the last 10 years of space travel.
Yeah, I mean,
probably the most
similar ages.
You could make the argument that SpaceX landing the rocket up and down is like cool, but
no, this is
how deep we're going into space.
This is beyond.
Yeah,
infinity and beyond.
My brother actually got to see these astronauts training for this mission.
What?
He was down in Houston. He went and toured the space center down there, and you got to see them like in their underwater tanks that they use to replicate zero gravity.
Yeah,
you got to see them under there.
We called the grandparents because they were on the broadcast. They were saying pretty much it was the most clear day ever in Florida, that anybody in the state of Florida could see it, right? You could just look up and kind of get a glimpse. Called the grandparents / in-laws. They go, it's pouring rain when we're at. Pouring rain. They saw nothing.
Did you see the University of Florida, their softball team?
No.
Their softball game was interrupted because you could very clearly see Artemis launching kind of on beyond their left field foul pole.
Can you imagine?
So they're like in the middle of a game broadcast and you see it looks like the right fielders start pointing out off the field, and then they turn to the batter. The batter's fully out of the batter's box, turned around watching out left field, and there's Artemis.
I got goosebumps again just thinking about, and being blessed enough to have the time to get the kids, stop, do what you're doing. They were done with school. They were at home making dinner. In our house, probably like most houses around America, when you're teenage or you're whatever, 15-year-old boy, and now you got everybody in the house, they just kind of vacate to their own space. I'm like, you got to stop. Stop what you're doing. Okay? Come watch this. Again, we got a lot to talk about today. We're going to talk a little draft, Major League Baseball, Final Four, kind of preview that. Boy, some unfortunate, crazy stuff yesterday as Michigan was leaving. We saw that story. Man, we'll talk about that.
I thought that was AI when I first saw
No,
it.
I did too. It looked weird.
Yeah.
But again, it was tough yesterday because I believed nobody. I did not believe that for a while.
Exactly.
Because the way they like rolled him out with
he's got a towel over his head.
Was that a towel? Was that a sheet? What's going on here? We'll talk about that.
Do you need 7 people wheeling this guy out? I'm like, this is probably AI. And then the ESPN reports it, and I go, oh, that's a major.
Boy. So we'll talk about that this day in sports. But man, real quick let's get into it. More Husker hoops. Boy, again, talking to people yesterday, and obviously one Robin Washit got a sit down with Coach Hoiberg yesterday. Got an exclusive. And boy, what about the Price story? Does that put more perspective on how tough the kid was and the records that he broke throughout the year? Obviously, if you haven't read or seen it out there, it's circulating everywhere that the back half of the season that Price Sanford was dealing with a sports hernia the entire time. Pretty much didn't practice, was on the court, spent most of the back half of the year not practicing, in treatment. We said it really hit home about the Iowa game.
And you saw some of those pictures that came out of him in the tunnel. Seemingly in a lot of pain.
I'm presuming now he's headed to a specialist now for surgery, consultant surgery, which I think I read this could be like a 6 to 8 week deal, which a lot of people are like, well, how does that circulate with the NBA? It's going to put it on the back burner probably right now, because I think all that G League stuff happens in May, those type of camps and stuff. Yep. So he might be out for that. So we'll see. But what the only thing that came to mind was this Warrior. In a record-setting season that he did, you go back now and know what you know now. You go back and now after that, look at some of the performances you got out of Price in pain. Pretty much going through pain management. Look at the performances, the 30-point Troy.
I mean, did everything he could against Iowa, it felt like, in that last game.
Yeah. I mean, Big Ten tournament had a really nice game there. Troy, all the games, you go back and, man, wow. What? And again, I think about the pain. But I also think about the fact, and again, he's a vet, okay? So I say this, but not practicing, I'm sure he was shooting, but the chemistry of practice, missing your guy during 5-on-5s or whatever, could have thrown a little chink in the armor of that process, right? Because it's like you don't practice. It's how do I stay sharp? How do I stay together with my group? It's one of those things you go, man, pretty wild situation.
And how do you put in an all Big Ten type season with, I mean, a good portion of the Big Ten schedule, you're dealing with injury. I mean, that's spectacular. And you talked about the Warrior nature. I mean, that's a guy that puts that's team before me type.
Yes.
So many guys would look and say, I'm having a great year. Man, I'm going to be playing pro basketball next year. Let's get the surgery now. We'll sit out our 6 to 8 weeks. And, hey, maybe we'll make it back in time for the NCAA tournament. But, hey, my pro career is what comes first. So many guys. Think about Darren Peterson.
Yeah, he'd have been.
At Kansas.
No, man.
How quick he would have gotten to the injury.
He'd have been moved out of his apartment. Yeah. I got to go.
Like it's not common to see in college basketball. I know sometimes you talk about the stars, it's a little different, but you have a first team all Big Ten type guy in Price Sanford that I think a lot of people that are in that echelon of player would take me before team. So it's
you go
kind of
back.
a hat tip thing to him to say, I'm going to play through pain. I'm going to put my team first. Going to come here and do what we set out to do, which is win an NCAA tournament game. And I'll worry about me and my career later. It shouldn't be special in today's sports, but it is a little special.
Yeah. You go back and I went through this and going, man, all right, now that you know what you know about, I don't know what that pain is like. Okay. But I'm pretty sure as an athlete and sports hernias don't feel great. But you go back and you start looking at, let's go back and assume it was Iowa, right? We looked at that Iowa matchup. Look at the minutes he played. Look at you talking about that team over me. You're talking about a guy that, roughly doing math, that averaged 36 minutes a game. 36 minutes. If you go back to the Iowa Iowa at Iowa, 37, 35, 37, 38, 37, 38, 35, 38, 37, 34. My goodness.
This guy was barely sitting.
And you go back and look at there's performance. So there's a 33-point performance, there's a 32-point performance in the madness, 23, 15, 25. Come on, man. If that's not like, to me, it also reflects himself as a person, as a player, but the culture of Nebraska that has been instilled.
Right.
Wild.
Did you see what his final number was shooting the 3-ball this year?
Was he at 43?
41.6.
Woo!
Goodness gracious.
I start looking at you say that, and I start looking ahead. Assume price returns. Assume whatever falls into place. And again, we know the looks. Like, now you start thinking like, all right, you know the looks that he had to get for himself throughout that because they forgot how to hold him and blah, blah, blah. You look back, you look ahead and go, all right, who's going to be the guy next year, the cog of all this? Price going to be the guy. Frager there, right? Got to shoot it. Connor Season has a chance to be running the baselines and coming off those screens with Price together and him having so many open looks. He'll be the guy you're like, all right, he needs to knock a few down. Frager knock a few down and watch out Price because then he's going to get open.
Well, think about this year's team. If you had a guy that could shoot it similar to Price, stress defenses similar to Price the same way, coming off the bench, though. You didn't have a guy like that this year.
No. I think you start looking at the deficiencies, right? Because now you can look, because we know this team wasn't perfect, right? We talked about this a lot with everyone about the second and third level score, like those second and third option scoring. You saw it at times it wasn't as consistent as I think great teams become, right? We saw at times where Rink could get it done for you. Post him being sick, you could look at his numbers. Lawrence at times was that guy to get you the second level, the second scorer. Frager at times, he went to call it the freshman lull because that's really his first, in that move. But with a Price scoring the way he scores, getting his shot, if you're able to land a second score, a third score that you can go to on a consistent basis, that the avenues that get opened up are huge. And an athletic big man, not dogging Rick Mass. Boy, you did great while you were here. If you get a more athletic guy like that.
Well, there's a guy in the portal from Lincoln, Nebraska that is an athletic 7-footer.
Hello, right? You start going, all right, how do we upgrade? Because I think in everything, whether it be life, business, sports, I got you to here. How do I go to here? And then, what are those next steps? Because these guys, all that, like us, like whatever, in the business or whatever, you're taught to recruit above what you currently have. My job is to recruit somebody better than you to take us to the next level. Because you'll be looking back. Fred said in his postgame, right, in his locker room speech, we're going to win games like these. But how do you get there? It's the next level score. It's the next level big guy. It's better than we were before.
When you essentially have, assuming you have no departures this year, you can make space for 3 roster additions. Mm-hmm. 3 is what you have. What 3 positions are you targeting? Point guard?
Point guard. You got to get, I think there's 2 guards. Point guard for sure. Point guard for sure. Number 1. It's that rank. It's that athletic big man. Because you don't know, again, Oogie might be the guy.
He might be the guy.
We don't know yet, but that's a back stuff that we did. It's finicky.
With the question marks and with the importance of what Rink was to you this year, like whenever he was on, you played well. Whenever he was off, you tended to not play great. You saw the importance of having a Rink in your system. You're going to bring in competition for Oogie. Yep. Because Oogie hasn't, it's no offense to Oogie. It's just, he hasn't shown you anything.
We don't know
before.
yet.
You don't know.
We know what Central Michigan looked like, but
he's an unknown. So you're going to bring in competition as you should. So what's the third position you go after? Do you go for Burke depth spot?
I think it's yes, but more physical. You need that guy. And we see it at times, right? We've seen it at times. Like, give me a Frager type guy, but bigger. If that makes sense. A guy that's going to be, I don't want to compare like a Jawan Gary, just I'm in the trenches.
Man, a nice guy to have was Amari Bynum, but
that kind of guy.
Signed up for another year at Ohio State.
I know.
He had the
Nebraska. Like I said, I think we got a really good nucleus, but it's adding like, I don't want to call it the enforcer, like a Josiah Alec type atmosphere, like guy that's going to be a energy guy, but it's going to battle the boards. Because I think that was a piece that I don't know if you really said we were a physical bat. We showed signs.
I
don't think we went after the physicality. I think they brought it to us, which made us bring it back.
There was not a game, I don't think, where Nebraska rolled over on the boards. They did get physically manhandled, though. Mm-hmm. But you always saw this team. They were giving 110%. Burke and Rink were battling like hell down there.
The back half of the year, those two, different in the first half. You saw Burke really settle into the second half of the year going, here's my role. Because how many times in the first half do we go, there was a game, I can't remember the game, where like him and, I forget, there was two guys, there were him and Garcia, right? They shot like a 30% of our, 40% of our threes, and they were 0 for 8. They missed their roles in certain games. Then they both, once Garcia, but Burke really settled into like, all right, I'm an 8, I'm an 8-8-3 guy. That's me, right? I'm an 8-8-3 guy. Knock down a 3 or 2 here. I need to get my butt to the board. I need to get my butt in there, get a rebound or 2, get to the line, then also occasionally find the open guy. 8-8-3 guy. He quite honestly, minus take Price out and other guys, he quite honestly, you could have said, all right, who's the back third MVP of that team? Could have been Burke Buchton.
He was the glue guy for sure.
Right?
Well, Sam's
the guy.
But Sam's there's a difference.
But your low post guy, your presence, boy, and your emotional guy, you could almost say, man, that guy was as important as anybody else on the floor.
His defensive presence, I think, flew under the radar as well.
Mm-hmm. He was guarding some athletic dudes.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he shut down, what was that dude's name from Troy? Dowd?
Yeah.
Dowd from Troy, just shut him down.
Nope.
So.
More to come on that, man. So it sounds like Price will be getting the surgery done. And good morning, everybody. Good morning, Arlo. Good morning, Flex. Good morning, Shane. Shane said I had a sports hernia in high school. The surgery is not fun.
I believe that.
Yeah. Nothing like that sounds fun, by the way. So, all right. Awesome. Let's take our first break. When we come back, let's look at, since we're talking hoops, let's look at the Final Four. Those 4 teams that are headed that way, and a couple stories out of there that were just wild yesterday. And the sight lines you talked about, I got a lot of opinions. I've been to a few of them.
They used to do it better.
They used to do it better, but now in recent history,
it's been,
pretty awful. We'll talk about that and a whole lot more when we return. I have pictures, if I can find it. We were there in 2017. And Ty and I walked around. If I can find these. Here it is. If I can get this picture. It's kind of, this picture I'll show. It's a lot like the pictures from Indy. I'll show it when we come back too. Look at that.
Oh yeah, that's when they do the half stadium. Actually,
yes, this is in Glendale. This is where the Cardinals play. That's the view from behind the basket almost. Isn't that crazy? We're like, what are people doing? Then I took this one. So we sat like in here. We sat like down in here, which is still like a ways back.
Yeah.
But I couldn't believe some of the in Glendale, it's like they're sitting up at they're sitting at the 6th deck. There were like tickets being sold for $601. So I'm like, what?
By the way, I'm sending you the that space launch from it was the Florida and Stetson softball.
Oh, I want to see that. I sent you one on X about yeah, I
got that
this day. Oh yeah, baby. Oh, look at this real quick. Oh, she's like pointing.
And then look when you see everyone turned with the batter.
Oh. Wow, look at that.
Tell you what, this white monster's hitting the spot today.
I saw you drinking. I'm like, man, I might stop and get one today.
It's hitting the spot.
My day is like pack with stuff. I'm getting one of those. Why can't we get a monster machine in here?
The old Pepsi machine. Replace it.
Can we talk to the new people?
We're coming back there.
Welcome back in the morning. Hookup. Happy Thursday. Oh no.
Song with the weather guy.
You know what? Typically I get like I go there's season depression. A lot of people go. I go. Typically I get like that with this rain. I'm pumped. I think about all the people that need this right now. We've got West fires and getting that all put to bed. Our lawns, golf courses. All right. It's going to bring so much. I didn't even get mad this
I especially think with Western Nebraska. By the way, that wildfire story in Asheville is coming under the radar. I don't know how
my kids had, my wife and kids had, I'm like, I don't know. Where do we stand at it right now?
Luckily, I mean, the moral part did not threaten any big population centers, which is great. There was some property damage out there. A lot of grazing land that was destroyed, and that's kind of the big problem.
Yeah.
There's a lot of it's cow country out there.
Damage. There's collateral damage of stuff.
And with some of those areas with how little rainfall they get, it might be years before you have good grazing land back. So all the rainstorms that you get are for the best. If you get a rainy year this year out there, can really help things to bounce back. Just not an area that gets a ton of rainfall every single year. So you're hoping for rain out there to help those things try to start moving back, especially with the time of year we're in right now this spring. If you can get some rainfall, can help
saturate the grounds,
jumpstart some things to growing back.
Yeah, you saturate the grounds now as you head into typically, which is warm, dry winters or summers with the winds blowing out there, which always is the task. But I didn't even get mad this morning. Because I'm like, oh, it's raining. Just because I know I wake up in the morning, it's raining. I'm like, oh, I got to let the dogs out.
I am looking forward.
And I'm wiping dog paws and stuff. There's to task.
I am looking forward, as long as it stays non-severe. I'm looking forward to when we finally get that first true thunderstorm. Not like the damaging thunderstorm.
I don't like those. I like
no one likes the damaging thunderstorms. But those thunderstorms where it starts picking up, that rain starts getting heavy, and then there's the flash and the thunder.
Oh. Do you sit outside? Those are the ones where the way our garage setup is, we'll open the back of both of our cars and just sit in there, back of the cars.
Crack a cold one.
We had the music going. The kids, most of the time, the boys are minus in between thunder and lightnings, will sprint through the rain, right? Jump in a puddle or two. So it's cool moments like that.
I like especially that 15 minutes before the storm hits, where you can look out and see these big storm clouds rolling into town. They got all that upward development up in the sky. They just look massive.
Give me that minus the siren. That's all I don't need. That minus that.
Yeah, avoid the damage.
That's anxiety to me.
Yeah, because once you start getting to the point where you start feeling a little unsafe outside, that's where it's all right, this is stop being fun.
Yeah, that gets anxiety to me because I didn't grow up here. my kids grew up and my wife grew up here. They're like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "Did you?"
It's gonna start taking trees down.
Down, bro. I'm out. Boy, we're a couple days away. That's getting fired up for some more hoops. I know being Nebraska's out, but being a hoops fan, I still love to watch this. This is an event. The Final Four is upon us. A couple days away, UConn, Illinois coming up. That line is still, I think Illinois is still favored by 1.5 in that one. Actually, both these now, by the way, if you look at it, are 1.5 points. Illinois favored in the one in Michigan, 1.5 favored over Arizona right now. A couple stories. Boy, yesterday, obviously being a day that you don't believe a lot of people, and I don't believe anybody, reports came out that point guard Elliot Cadeau had an allergic reaction to something he ate, as they had to call in like the paramedics. There was you saw the videos, him being on a gurney, essentially a stretcher, he was sitting upright with, it looked like a sheet or a blanket over his head. Now they're saying that he will travel later on as they get that. He said he's okay, but apparently an allergic reaction. His travel will be delayed. Just reading the article, it said doctors evaluate Elliott and he is fine. At a bunch of caution, he's receiving medical supervision and will be traveling to Indianapolis later today. So apparently he was supposed to travel yesterday late, not with the team.
Oh, it was like a weird situation where he's getting gurneyed out of this Michigan facility. There's like a whole bunch of paramedics around. As we talked about last segment, I was thinking on a day like April 1st, I'm like, all right, this is some sort of
man,
weird joke from Arizona.
It just
fans.
looked weird. Like you couldn't see him, but he was like covered. I don't know if he's like, maybe he's swollen. Well, I don't know, but it was,
or
weird.
If it's also the mind games from Michigan of like, let's make sure the player who is undergoing an allergic reaction is, hidden right now, so he can keep Arizona kind of guessing on who it is. Strange situation. I was like looking at him and I'm like, I'm trying to figure out, like, based on the height, I'm like, all right, is this a big man? Is this a guard?
I know you're trying to figure it out. That's unfortunate. You don't want to see these are those moments where when you're headed to a Final Four or any kind of championship, you don't want anything to happen, right? You want everybody, like, I love that they're all there, but I want them all to be full strength. I don't think this will delay in that situation. Elliott's a really nice point guard. I think he's averaged like 10 and 8 or something like that on the year. He's their catalyst with the ball in their hand. So I would assume he'll be there. It'll be just fine. I want everybody full strength. But I think one of the bigger stories right now in the Final Four, obviously tomorrow we'll start talking more about who we're taking, scores, keys to those games. But it is a phenomenon right now. And this goes back a ways back. I remember going to Final Four in Houston a couple times. I've been to one in the old Superdome back in the day when it was Kansas, back when Melo and Syracuse won it. That was way back. Glendale, now in Indy. Mm-hmm. Boy, they don't make it very sight friendly for the common fan to go without having to spend thousands of dollars.
What they used to do is they used to put the field or the court like sideways, like it was widthwise, on the football field. They turn it sideways and kind of crunch it down towards an end zone.
Yep.
And they would cut the stadium in half, 3/4.
Yep.
Because you'd have like the extension seating from out in the end zone that really got you to court side and whatnot. And they'd be happy in a 75,000 seat stadium to fit 45,000 in.
Yep.
It's like how it used to be. And now there's so much interest that they're just using the entire stadium. And it really leads to some poor sight lines for fans.
It to me, I was thinking about, I was talking to my kids about it last night. It makes it feel, and you're going to laugh when I say this, it makes it feel Savannah Banana-ish when they do these baseball games in these stadiums, which I'm not knocking it. It's money. It's entertainment. But I kind of compare to like Savannah Bananas are coming to Memorial Stadium and everybody's like, well, I got a ticket. Well, what are you going to see? Like I walked around again. I showed the picture earlier, but this was a photo from 2017 and going off your watch on the stream. That's from the back of the end zone in Glendale. Like that is not, and people were paying upwards of $600 to $700 to sit right there.
You're 500 feet from the basket.
I talked to people that were there that were up in the 600s. And if you can see it here, as high as that is, like look out way up there. All it is you're watching it from a TV. You're paying. I mean, and I know people are out on Twitter going, hey, I got my ticket for $200. It's almost like you're getting a ticket just to be in the building to say you were there. They've made it where you've got to spend, if you really want to see the game, it's not just enough to be in the lower bowl, right? When we went to Houston or OKC, it was like, I got lower bowl tickets. All right, you're going to see something. But the NCAA in these types of environments,
if you want that, you got to be
courtside. You got to be well, not court, just free throw line to free throw line, or baseline to baseline, almost. Let's call it that. You got to be within court view to appreciate this game.
You got to be somewhat low, too.
And also, yes, and also you have to remember also in these situations where if it says you're in row K, there's 20 other rows in front of that row K, by the way, with the floor seats, right? Row K is not really row K. Row K is probably pretty much double Z in these situations.
Because they bring all like that extension seating down onto the court side. Yeah.
Yes.
If Nebraska was to have made some sort of improbable run to the Final Four this year, how many fans do you think they would have fit in there?
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Because
that stadium will probably hold just north of 70,000 for this game.
Is that what they're calling for? Is it 70?
Because for football stadiums, for football games, it holds something like 65. And with all that extension or extended courtside seating, I assume the capacity will be somewhere north of 70.
I'm looking right now. I'm like jumping up on like SeatGeek, let's say. Okay. Ready for this? I'm not lying. Let's just say oh boy, my goodness. These people are nuts if you're doing this. Seriously. So, like, for instance, let's just say you want to get lower bowl. Okay. I'm on SeatGeek, by the way, one of the Nebraska partners and all that. So I just go there just to kind of get a guess on where period. This is row. So this would be essentially midcourt. Row M. $9,633 per seat. Row M. Okay. Let's say you got this corner seat, row L in the corner. So you got like a corner view. $8,500 is ticket. That's just session one. That's the only session. The 2 game. That's Final Four. Those tickets up top. All right, I'm going to go midcourt, top row. I don't know if you can see that view. Right there.
Oh, you're way up there.
That's section 613. $870. That's what you're looking at.
My goodness.
From that view in Indianapolis.
You're on top of the court.
You're on top.
You're above it.
Yes.
On top in a bad way. Like you're above the Jumbotron thing in center field.
Like you're not seeing anything, quite honestly. But it is tough because it's butts and seats event now. Right? Butts and seats event now. Makes it very difficult for fans to be able to do this experience. Right?
It's all about the almighty dollar.
It is. But there's people going to buy them. Right? My team is there. It makes me wonder how important. Now, if Nebraska would have been there, there would have been a lot of dollars spent. A lot of mortgages mortgaged. Right? Right. There'd have been a lot of moral decisions that had to be made. Would it be an Easter weekend?
Would have been a lot of conversations with significant others, balancing the budget.
Yeah. Yeah. What can we cut back on to make this happen?
No, honey, I swear I don't need to eat for at least a week.
Yeah, I'm good. Refi. How quick can we refi real quick? Can we dip into the LOC, the line of credit?
Honey, we don't need a 401k anyway.
I would have figured out, like, it'd have been like, hey, we're going to go to India. I wonder where they serve Easter dinner at. Can we get an Easter dinner?
Yeah.
Can we get an Airbnb? We'll have Easter in India at an Airbnb. There's a lot of hard decisions made if Nebraska would have been there.
Especially after multiple weeks, if you're going down to OKC and then to Houston.
Oh, I don't know. My body wouldn't be able to handle it anymore. It wouldn't have been able to handle it. But it's like tough ticket, man. Because like it's just like Houston and OKC, right? Like whatever dollars you spent to go, you run the risk of your team losing, right? And spending amount, it's the intake or the I'm going to lay it on the line for this dollar, knowing I might not see another game. Houston. But I got, we had all session tickets. But you run that risk. Now you're running a risk going out there going, oh boy, it is a Final Four, which is cool. There's a lot of what they don't show you around the Final Fours, or if you haven't had a chance to go, it's like all the antics and optics on the outside. It is amazing. The party they put on the outside of Final Fours. Imagine, like when you go to the College World Series, all the stuff on the outside of Charles Schwab, the vendors, you got I don't want to call it the play area, the fan experience areas. There's a lot of them there. A lot of stuff happening outside of Final Fours. A lot. There's I'm assuming Indy will have a big fan experience inside area. You go through, there'll be players upon players, former players there. Remember one year I got to meet Kenny Smith, being a Tar Heel fan. He was signing autographs. You just see there's a who's who walking around those places.
You think any of these 4 fan bases are going to end up kind of dominating, being the predominant fan there? Whew. Illinois is close.
I was going to say, I think it's Michigan.
Illinois and Michigan are the 2 closest.
I think it's Michigan ends up being the ones that all right. I think that's the one you're going to say. If I gave it, but I think it's going to be really close. I do think that. I don't think it's going to be like 45. I think it's going to be like a 35-20 something split. There'd be a split.
If I was a UConn fan, I would invest. Have you seen their Final Four history?
Yeah.
Let's see. For those at home that are unfamiliar with UConn's Final Four history, they have made the Final Four 8 times. Ready? In 1999, they made the Final Four. They won the whole stinking thing.
I was there. Was that Houston? What year was that? I saw them win it in Houston. That's when I was in Houston one time.
That was in Tampa.
Okay. The next one, whenever they were in Houston, is when I saw them win it.
That was San Antonio?
San Antonio? Did they win in Houston?
Let me check that.
Sorry, I'm disrupting your.
No, it's okay. Let me figure this
Yeah.
out. I'm gonna figure this out real quick. Houston was 2011.
Yep, I was there.
Okay. So anyway, 1999, they make the Final Four. They win the whole stinking thing.
Mm-hmm.
In 2004, they make the Final Four. They win the whole stinking thing. Now, you get to 2009, they make the Final Four. They lose in their first game there.
Okay.
But then 2011, they make the Final Four. They win the whole stinking thing. 2014, they make the Final Four. They win the whole stinking thing. 2023, they make the Final Four. They win the whole stinking thing. 2024, they make the Final Four. They win the whole stinking thing. They're 7 of 8 in Final Fours. They've made 8 Final Fours in their history. They have won the national championship 7 times.
Expectation. Don't you put you start putting
that's silly.
I saw this question is how high up do you put Hurley as a coach in the grand scheme of the history of college basketball right now? I don't know.
I'm not ready for that conversation.
Now,
if he wins it all this year,
just win. All he does is win. All he does is win.
They're 1.5 point dogs against Illinois.
I know, but I think that's a matchup that can. I haven't gotten there yet, but I can see UConn winning that basketball game.
Yeah,
a lot of different ways.
Yeah,
not just because of what they just did with Duke. It's just the way they play basketball. That's a special way they play it. And then tomorrow we'll talk about what matchup we want to see. I know the matchup I want to see already.
Illinois, Michigan.
Yes.
We'll talk about that tomorrow. But
tomorrow, a lot of that.
You want to guarantee that Big Ten winner.
Yep.
Not to go full.
Full all Big Ten.
I hate to say it when the SEC fans do that. Whenever their team gets eliminated and they start cheering probably their SEC team.
No.
It's gross to me.
But I do want that. I want the streak to end from that perspective. So, all right, let's take another break. When we come back, this day in sports when we return. There's some really good ones on this day today. All right. Holy Christmas, what's going on today? Special. Nothing there. Monster sounds good.
It's hitting the spot. It really is.
Yeah, DoorDash us a case.
You were talking. You remember the Moneyball scene where it's like, I want you to stock my Coke machine as well?
Yep.
New folks, hey, we need you to stock the Monster machine as well for 1 year.
That's it. If you're listening, or if you know anybody, what we could do is just get us a little fridge in here. Combination on it, just for us.
A mini fridge.
Just for us. Combination on it.
I do think I have a spare mini fridge in my house.
If you have,
what do we do? Maybe, let's get a full size fridge in here.
Oh heck, a kegerator, like
Ooh.
it goes right here.
Yeah, perfect fit.
Put a lock on it. Maybe just the morning hookup and Average Joe Sports Show. Oh, we could get it logoed. Yeah. Or if anybody out there would like to sponsor, they could sponsor our fridge.
We're going to the Monster Fridge, brought to you by.
We could have it right in the view. Oh yeah, look, right. We could put it right here in the view.
It'd work.
I'm telling you, folks, we're on to something.
We're coming back
Here we go.
here.
Welcome back to the morning hookup. A few moments left in a fascinating first hour. Thursday's off to a great start. I really like that we're doing this day in sports stuff. It's like jogging memories. I've got one today that's going to electrify everybody. It's one of my. It might go down. It won't be the most iconic shot in North Carolina hoops history because obviously it's really hard to beat the 1982 jump shot by MJ. That's probably the most renowned. It might have. It will top now. Luke May knocking that shot down against Kentucky late in that game to get another Final Four. But probably no better as a Tar Heel in the Final Four run of your arch rival and in the career of a coach that led the way for Duke for so many years. This day in 2022, Caleb Love knocked down the three-pointer to put the dagger in the Puke Blue Devils in the Final Four. That thing was crazy. Boosh. It was a fun one.
Canned it. And then, I mean, you hit that shot. There's still like 20 seconds left on the clock.
Just top of the key, go up by 4. But you could feel the air when you're watching that. Air just got let out of them.
Yeah.
But they did again. Carolina goes on there, 8 seed, going to lose to Kansas in the final. But that shot is, that year of going to Duke and beating them in K's last home game and then knocking them out of the Final Four. Electric time in Carolina history.
All right, back in 1980, way back here, the great one, Wayne Gretzky, scores for Edmonton. It ended up being a 1-1 tie with the Minnesota North Stars, but he becomes, on this day in sports history, 1980, the youngest player to reach 50 goals in a career.
Ooh.
He did it at age 19 years and 2 months.
I feel like this is a fun one. This is a baseball record. I'm sure it still stands. Back in 1996. Remember Cecil Fielder? Big first baseman.
Yeah.
He stole his first ever stolen base in 1,097th career game. That is the longest duration in Major League Baseball history without a stolen base. He went 1,097 career games. Got a stolen base. Now, look,
imagine how
Cecil was a big dude. He was a big.
Imagine how surprised you got to be as that catcher whenever here comes some slow breaking ball in and you see Cecil Fielder out there going for 2. Like, oh, I mean, you just be caught off guard.
Yeah, crazy.
How about this? 1984. Georgetown beats Houston 84-75 in the NCAA tournament men's basketball championship. Patrick Ewing would be the most valuable player of the tournament.
Ooh.
John Thompson becomes the first African-American head coach to lead his team to any NCAA Division I title.
Yeah, those teams were good. That's who Carolina played in the 82 championship.
Mm-hmm.
That was a great team. How about back in 2001 in sports history? Seattle outfielder Ichiro Suzuki. He had 2 hits, became the first Japanese position player to play in a regular season MLB game back in 2001. As we know how that career went.
You'll like this one, actually. 1990.
Yeah.
Another NCAA tournament men's basketball championship. UNLV beats Duke. Do you know the final score?
I don't, but those running Rebels were fun, man.
It was the largest margin of victory in a championship game. That still stands to date. They beat them by 40. 103-73. Back in 1990.
My computer's freaking out, guys. Sorry. This was wild. Sorry, guys. This is mine. Close out of that. There was like a whole deal went across. I saw. No, sorry. I'm missing it now. My thing was freaking out like a security deal, like one of those scams.
Oh, yeah.
I just X'd out of it.
I got one more. This one. If Motzi is listening, 1995, we had WrestleMania 11.
Oh, I'm glad you got that one. That's when I was reading. I couldn't remember the year.
Lawrence Taylor defeats Bam Bam Bigelow.
Bam Bam Bigelow.
In WrestleMania 11.
Yeah. Boy, fun stuff there. That was wild. My computer started like flashing a bunch of stuff. I just got to X out of it. X out.
Well, we made it to the end of the hour.
Yeah, we made it. So coming up, we'll go around the dime Major League Baseball. Hey, starter, is he back? Made a really good recovery from his first start. We'll look at a little NFL and a whole lot more. Sit back, relax. We'll be right back.
To some people, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much. But that's not necessarily true. By 6 months, they're combining vowels and consonants. By 9 months, they're trying out different kinds of sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on some meaning. Especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Early screening and intervention can make a lifetime of difference and unlock a world of possibilities. Take the first step at autismspeaks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Hi, David Brooks here, president and founder of Retire Smart, inviting you to join me and Chip Maxwell every Saturday morning at 7 or Sunday mornings at 6 for the Retire Smart radio show. We'll provide you answers to your most pressing retirement questions and help you navigate ever uncertain financial times. Don't just retire, retire smart. That's Saturday mornings at 7 or Sunday mornings at 6.
Investment advisory services offered through Smart Wealth LLC, a registered investment advisor.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit OakStreetCarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all. Oak Street Carpet. 1732 Oak Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
James Brown and Bill Cowher welcoming you back to Dennis Melvin's house. It's time for the Midnight Snack Run.
This is one tricky obstacle course. Sticking to healthy habits in this kitchen is going to take focus and determination, but it can be done, JB.
He's already entered the snack part of the course, and he's eyeballing a jar of chocolate candy.
That is tempting right off the start.
Uh-oh, he's reaching, Bill, but he pushes it away.
Great stiff arm.
He's approaching a plate of delicious-looking iced cookies.
Oh, Dennis, you only want one of those.
He blows right by him for the apple.
Oh, the fridge. It's make or break time, JB.
He stares down some rich-looking treats. Uh-oh, looks like he's headed for the soda. Wait, he jukes left, grabs the water bottle, and shuts the door with his elbow in record time.
Unbelievable move. I gotta see that again.
And he's out. He even turned off the light.
That's the way you execute a midnight snack run.
Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer.
Go to takeahealthystand.org.
Lincoln's local news, talk, sports, and weather station. FM 101.5, 1240 AM, KFOR, and KFRX HD3, Lincoln.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. President Trump, moments ago on social media, said that he will sign an order resuming pay for Homeland Security, including FEMA and the Coast Guard, as well as TSA, bypassing Congress. Last night, during a primetime address, he said the war with Iran would soon be over, but gave no clear timeline on when. Meantime, struck by back overnight, Iran has. ABC's Matt Rivers has more from Doha, Qatar.
Sure, they have said at times that they're willing to negotiate, but at no point have they ever said that they are willing to capitulate to U.S. demands by any means. They continue to fire missiles. We saw more missiles targeting Israel just right after the president gave his address. There were missiles flying around this whole region. We heard from the Iran Revolutionary Guard Corps yesterday saying they have no plans to back away.
Right now, the Dow is down 77 points and the S&P is down 5 points. Oil is trading at $111 a barrel. The UK hosting more than 40 countries in a virtual meeting about how to get the Strait of Hormuz reopened. British Foreign Minister Yvette Cooper.
That Iranian recklessness towards countries who were never involved in this conflict, which we and 130 countries across the world have strongly condemned at the United Nations, is not just hitting mortgage rates and petrol prices and the cost of living here in the UK and in many different countries across the world. It is hitting our global economic security.
Fleetwood Mac guitarist Lindsey Buckingham is okay after an assault by a stalker. She threw an unknown substance on him before fleeing in Santa Monica. Police think she know who she is. The president of Italy's soccer federation has resigned following the national team's failure to qualify for the World Cup for the third consecutive time. Pope Leo celebrating his first Holy Thursday Mass.
In his
speech, he warned against the abuse of power and pleaded for unity and peace. You're listening to ABC News.
How was your break? It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code ACTIVE. for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ACTIVE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's ACTIVE.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms.
Probation for a former LPS teacher in an abuse case. Good morning. I'm Jeff Mode. Still at 47 degrees at KFOR. Former Beatty Elementary School special education teacher Hillary Everett got 3 years probation when she was sentenced Wednesday after being found guilty of child abuse for abusing young boys in her class. Now, the children at the time were kindergarten and first grade back in December 2024. She originally could have faced up to 3 years in prison. The judge on Wednesday, though, gave Everett probation since Everett surrendered her teaching certification. An East Lincoln hair salon was damaged late Wednesday morning when a woman driving a Jeep was trying to back up and hit the accelerator, crashing into the building. This happened shortly after 10 o'clock Wednesday morning at the Cost Cutters and Piedmont Shops near Conner Boulevard and A Street. No one was hurt, but according to KFOR's media partner 1011 News, the manager said they were trying to reopen by today. 6 of the 7 smoking-related fire calls handled by Lincoln Fire and Rescue last weekend were caused by people not properly putting out their cigarettes.
They were caused by people putting cigarettes out in some type of container with potting soil in it. Potting soil is not a good place to put out your cigarette butts.
LFR Public Information Officer MJ Lehrman says that potting soil is actually a very flammable substance when it's dry out. She says cigarettes should be put out with water or sand. And another reminder that the statewide burning ban is still in effect until April 10th. And a bit of a traffic note, 70th Street between Cornhusker Highway and Fletcher Avenue is closed at least for now until noon at last check because of emergency railroad track repairs. The recommended detour is Cornhusker Highway to 56th Street over to Fletcher Avenue. Rain will likely continue here as we go through the course of the day today. Maybe a few rumbles of thunder, a high of 57. Then tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 37. Then a 50% chance of rain tomorrow, the high of 60. I'm Jeff Motes, KFOR News.
After I came home from Iraq, I could still hear the booms. Makes it hard to be a good mom.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
I'm Naomi Mathis, Air Force veteran.
DAV helps veterans get the benefits they've earned.
Thanks to DAV, I was able to begin to heal.
With the right support, more veterans can reach victories, great and small.
My victory is being able to be here for my children.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
A small business affirmation from Progressive. Food truck owners, today business will be booming. People will love your new menu and not make special orders. You will not roll your eyes when someone calls it a quesadilla. You will also switch to Progressive to get 30 customizable coverage options and restore your inner peace. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at Progressive Commercial.
This is the Morning Hookup on KFOR.
Welcome back to the Morning Hookup, hour number 2. Talking a lot of little thoughts of baseball. Well, NFL draft, man. There's a running back maybe moving up a little bit.
News in the quarterback market.
Yes, big news. I call that big news. A mentorship maybe about to happen because the quarterback that they're going to draft out there left no doubt yesterday. His pro day looked pretty flawless. We'll talk about that. Stories that we missed, a whole lot more. I'm sitting here during the break. I don't know if you I don't know. I experience this quite a bit. I try to read between the lines and a lot of stuff.
Oh, wow.
My wife just sends me stuff via text. Like it'll be off Amazon or whatever she found. And I just text back, what are you trying to tell me? I think it means just buy it. Right? It's just buy it. Why am I even asking questions 26 years into marriage?
Well, it could be like, hey, I think this is pretty cool. If you think it's also pretty cool, you should buy it. What are we talking? Is
I think it's
like decor.
It's like this. Hold on, let me look. Let's see. This was
because if it's like men's clothing, that's clearly for you. That means you should immediately buy that.
This is like this really cool, like pro touchless vacuum thing. And like this Floor One S5 smart wet dry vacuum cleaner. Like, why do we need this? We have this. I don't know. I think
I know.
She's telling me I need to go home and vacuum. We have a really nice vacuum now. It does the job. I don't know. It doesn't. I guess I'm learning right now.
I'll be curious. Next break, we're gonna have to dive into this vacuum cleaner and see what kind of bells and whistles it has.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. I'll just send this thing to you. MLB, man, boy, there's some teams that aren't off to. Oh, go ahead.
Speaking of MLB,
yeah.
Sorry, not to like that. The Rockies won a series.
We talked about it the other day.
It was a pretty convincing win
Look at
against the
this.
Blue Jays.
They're 2-4. Slow the pace down.
Stop the count.
They're not out of it yet. It does give them less than a 1% chance of making the playoffs, but they're not out.
It was less than 1% when the season started.
It's really good. They got it. That's a big series to win.
I'm proud of you, Rockies.
I wonder when they won their first series last year.
Wasn't it over a month into the season?
Was that what it was? Because they are off to a rough start. I mean, yeah.
We played the game last. I think it was. It wasn't until May that they got their first series win.
Should have bet the overs.
I don't know. I'm not going that far yet. They got the Phillies now.
Well, boy, kind of want to look through the standings a little bit. Now, obviously, we're 6 games in, but there's some teams that are like, whoa, off to some rough starts. We start looking at. We talked a little bit about it yesterday. You look at that AL East. Boy, Boston.
Yeah,
1-5.
Poor YZ. We can't overreact.
No, overreact right now. It's only 6 games in, but boy, you look at their differential. They're minus 15 differential. Losers of 5 straight games. A lot not going right.
They just can't score runs.
Cannot score runs. Minus 15 in that. As the top side of that is the Yankees and the Blue Jays have off to their starts. You got the Royals off to a pretty good start in the division. They're 3-2. Not surprised by the White Sox. 1-5 in that one. You talk about Philly. I've watched Philly. They look old. Don't they?
Yeah.
They just look like a little old at this point. They are 3-3. Shout out 3-3. Marlins setting the pace there at 5-1. Braves 4-2.
Let's also note with the Marlins, 3 of those games were against the Rockies.
Yes.
They swept them. So
it's all right.
So let's add a quick note there.
Mets being the Mets, they're 3-3. A lot losers of 2 straight right now. In that one.
Who would have had the Rockies tied with the Padres and the Giants in the division standings at this point in the season?
Mark that up to nobody.
The thing about the MLB season is you can really split it into, I would say, 4 parts, with the first being the least important. You have the first, which is the ramp-up period. You have some colder weather. It's about opening day until like May. And then you have the early part of the summer dog days, which is the longest stretch of the season, where it runs from May until the All-Star game.
Forever.
And then you have the true dog days, which is late July and August. And then the most important stretch of the season is that playoff push through late August and into September, which is the most important stretch of the season. But the first month and a half here, least important stretch.
Least important.
I'd say
you just don't want
the 2 most important stretches are that early summer, that May to All-Star game. That's a super important stretch. And then the playoff push. If you take care of business in those 2 stretches, you'll find yourself in a pretty good place, a pretty good chance of going and making the postseason. So I take everything up until like May 1st with a grain of salt.
You just don't want to get too far behind, especially in some of these divisions. When you look at like the AL East, where there's some 2 dominant probably at the top, and you want to be a part of that group in that one. You just don't want to get that you're looking so far up and you're battling so hard to get back to that. But it is a very long season when you look at it. In the Central, Paul Skeens, a much needed start. Were you like me when Paul Skeens got rough to be like, it's surprising, but it'll be fine?
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt.
It'll be fine. He goes out yesterday and improves to 1-1, 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 5 strikeouts. A Paul Skeens type performance out there as they do get a win. Yesterday, everybody was like, oh my God. it's one of those things that when it happens, you're like, ooh, never seen that before. In that type, his ERA is now 9.53. That won't last.
For some guys out there, a start like that to open the season can feel like a really bad omen. Like, how long is that going to hang over you? Paul Skeens is one of those guys in baseball where you don't really worry about that.
Well, I think more for the player, because he said it was a work in progress. More for the player, it's like, I wasn't major leagues, did pitch a little in college, but it's like you work your butt off all off season, and he come off some really good stuff at the World Baseball Classic, right? To go out and go, oh, this is what's going to happen. It's a mind thing a little bit. Like, you had such a good off season. Your World Baseball Classic pitching was really stinking good. And you're like, expectations are like, all right. But then you get shelled and it's regrouping and coming back. But you're right. It could be one of those things. Oh, right. There are some guys that also some really good starts. Watch. I think this is an integral part of the Yankees. Stanton. Obviously, he documented a lot of injuries. He's off to hitting 500 early on in the season. Him being healthy is probably what will propel them to be the top in that league on that side.
I don't see that lasting.
No, I don't either. But it's one of those things early on. If that's a guy that can play more games than he's played in his career over the history, because he's typically hurt, a couple months in?
Yeah.
But that's one of those guys to keep the bat in the lineup.
If he gets you 100 games this year.
Oh, my gosh. They'll walk away.
Well, as we kind of look at some of these starts here, and that's one of those, I'm like, okay, he's off to a hot start. I expect him to come back down to earth. With that in mind, teams and players, what is real and what is fake at this point in time? One team I would say it's fake. I think they'll get figured out as a team. We already talked about the Red Sox.
Yes.
I think that 1-5 start, don't read too much into it.
Yes.
But flip it around, the White Sox 1-5, real.
Yeah, real. I mean,
they're not good.
You can also say the same thing. You mentioned this team earlier. The Marlins, fake.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
5-1 start, fake. Don't count that. I think the Cubs off to it. I think there's one that's fake. Cubs off to a 3-3 start. They'll be fine. The Cardinals at 4-2, fake.
One I don't know about, the A's at 1-5.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I feel like they had enough talent, I think, to be probably not a wild card team this year, but sitting in the middle of that AL West, kind of sitting there a step below the Mariners, maybe competing with the Rangers.
Yeah, I don't know. That was that one division that I had so many questions on. When you look at it, we felt, again, a lot of people felt like early in preseason that was a Seattle division, which
Seattle hasn't looked great.
They haven't looked great earlier. It was what's Cal Raleigh going to do in his second, to bounce off that great season he just had. What would that look like? That'd be a big one. Houston has looked okay, 5-2. I saw them play. They got good parts.
See that Bryce Matthews bomb from over the weekend? What was that? 440 feet.
Massive. I saw his first start. I was there in the stadium for his first start. He had a double, played some good defense. That was also like get you excited series because it felt like Mike Trout was back. Hopefully he stays healthy. He was off to a really good start. Teams I'm interested in seeing how they do. I mean, the Cincinnati at 3-3.
Let me ask you, is your Braves 4-2 start to the season real?
Yes.
Okay. I should.
The biggest question mark was for me with the Braves, what they could do early on to get through the injury situation. Spencer Strider was throwing flat work stuff yesterday before the game. Can they get those starting pitching back? And how much the bats would keep them in this. Right now they're plus 12. They're the second best differential in the division right now. The Marlins have been lighting on fire. They're like plus 15. That was a big question mark for me with the Braves. What would the early stuff look like minus the injuries when they get him back?
What's the status of Schwelly?
I don't know. I've not heard
I
that
know
one yet.
He had was it late season knee surgery?
I thought it was arm bone spurs.
I thought that's what moved from the season. And I thought they underwent like a cautionary knee surgery as well.
Let's see. Let's just see here. So we get some more updates on this guy because him being back would be huge. Well, this still says, I don't know when he went on it, but on the 18th of February, he went on the 60-day with elbow.
Elbow, okay.
60-day with elbow. So I don't know where that puts 60 days. What's that? March, April, like late April, early May.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the case, it'd be like an early May. It said they had to clean up loose bodies in his elbow. They did not reveal a timeline. But him getting back, that'd be big. Chris Sale looked good the other day. He returned the form and said apparently he was really sick before that. So, but I'm like you. There's some this thing will shake out. First month, you're going to learn a lot as you get through these. And some of these teams will come back to reality, all based on schedule. Like, I mean, right now, the Cubs are 3-3. They're sitting at the bottom of the division. Still a 71% chance to make the playoffs. Got the Marlins at the top of the division, 17% chance to make the playoffs based on whatever formula they're putting out there.
I'd bet against that.
I bet against it.
And this might be the time to get your odds on the Marlins to miss the post.
I mean, the worst odds in all of the entire West, AL West. The Angels are 3-4. They have a less than 1% chance to make the playoffs. It's fun to watch the Royals off to a good start. That's a team that could cause some trouble in that division. Yeah, right now have a 70% chance to make play. Long season.
I'm saying, and you can get a feel for a team early in the season, but it really doesn't matter till May rolls around.
Yeah.
It's just how it is.
It's fun to see some of the what's happening. This pitching will rise to the top. Should be a lot of fun. So, all right, let's take a break. Let's come back. Let's flip it over to the gridiron. Let's talk about NFL draft. Maybe what your team's looking at doing, what they need.
Big quarterback move.
Big quarterback move. Husker. Is there a running back that is talked about a lot right now? Maybe being the second guy off the board in the running back room? We'll talk about that and a whole lot more when we return. All right, I'm going to send this to you. I forgot to send it to you doing that. I can't do that one. Not yet. I'll get back to you. I'll send you the two things. Yikes. This is the first one that I'm supposed to like figure out. This is the vacuum. Yeah, you see it now?
No, I just saw YZ's comment on our stream.
Oh, he's mad. Is he mad at us? The Red Sox suck. All right. How do you really feel? Need it. Welcome back to the morning hookup. It's right in my wheelhouse of music. Don't ask me who it is or what it is, okay? Know some of the words.
A lot of NFL teams looking for what they need.
Boy, I tell you
in
what.
the NFL draft.
Yeah, I want to talk about that. Boy, big quarterback move from a mentorship quarterback. I feel like that's what Kirk Cousins turned into.
Yeah, well,
The guy who can teach the ropes, he can like bridge the gap. Like, so Kirk Cousins goes over to the Las Vegas Raiders as presumably number one pick. Mendoza on that line for sure. Had a great pro day yesterday. Pretty much solidified being the number one pick. I think it's a solid move for the Raiders.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I didn't know if we were going to see Kirk Cousins step into another leadership type role. Atlanta was bad for him. I mean, that was tough where you sign the big contract and then a month later they're drafting your replacement. Like, first off, a bit of ineptitude from the front office of the Falcons to go try to pull that one off. That was a tough spot for him to be in. He handled it, I mean, as you'd expect him to do. He handled it with big time maturity. He's a grown up. He's an adult in the room. Always a great locker room presence. I was wondering if Pittsburgh could be a landing spot for him.
Mm-hmm.
But no, he makes his move. He's off to go be the mentor for likely Fernando Mendoza. We can say, assuming the Raiders do what everyone in the entire world thinks they're going to do, and they're going to take Fernando Mendoza. That's what they should do.
Yeah, like,
steps into a leadership role.
Yes, I think it's a great spot.
I do find it funny to think about whenever you think Las Vegas lifestyle, you think personality-wise Kirk Cousins and Fernando Mendoza. Just kidding. Maybe that's what you need to not have a guy that wants to be the glitz and the glam type. And both those guys are kind of, what's the best way to put it? I mean, they've kind of both been living since they were 18. Like, they have a minivan and 14 kids to take care of. Like, mature. They're not going to cause you any drama. They're going to be the leaders. Just two guys, you have no concerns about them falling victim to some of the lifestyle of Las Vegas that
could get you.
Mm-hmm. I mean, look at a Henry Ruggs situation. Not to bring light to a horrible situation because I know he's getting out of jail soon, which sucks. Keep that guy locked up. But it's a guy who kind of falls victim to that lifestyle.
Yep.
Going 160 miles an hour while you're drunk driving in Vegas. Like,
come on, man.
So you have two quarterbacks that I do not think you would be concerned about as an owner or GM of the Raiders that anything bad is going to happen while they're in Las Vegas.
They just become solid leaders,
as
you need from your quarterback in any type situation. Those are a couple guys, like you said. And it's presumably what you look at, not looking at schedule, but you could imagine that maybe that's a Kirk Cousins coming in, putting his arm around the young man, teaching him the ropes, probably getting some early starts where you can insert. You find that I've always looked at it. I've looked at this the same way. It's like last year we looked at Jackson Dart like this, right? When's the right time to insert a rookie quarterback and introduce him to the league? That's a lot of schedule-based thing. Now, maybe it's the deal where it's, Kirk, you're number 2 no matter what. You're not starting. I need you to get this guy ready kind of conversation. Or is it he's going to get a couple starts, watch how the mechanics go through, listen and learn. And then it's like, all right, we're playing we're 4 or 5 games in. Time for you to go.
Mendoza, I think he's got to be day one.
I think so too.
I think you bring in Kirk Cousins, try to accelerate that process through the offseason, through the summer months, through fall camp, get him ready to go for week 1. The Raiders are not. What's the best way to put this? They are so down recently. They need reason for optimism. You need reason to be able to sell your season tickets. You need to be able to get butts in seats, and Fernando Mendoza does that. Kirk Cousins, I think, is a great backup option. You don't want to bench the rookie in year 1, but if you're going first overall pick for your quarterback,
got to go, man. Turn the light on. Let it roll.
Especially some of the free agent acquisitions they made this year on the defensive side of the ball. They have some pieces. I think you roll out there with Mendoza. You take the good with the bad, and you trust that you have a guy in Kirk Cousins behind the scenes that's going to make sure that he is developed the right way and is handling everything the right way.
Also out there, just to continue to read through mock drafts or whether it be news you're getting, is Emmett Johnson. in a few rooms starting to move up that board. Some of them calling him maybe the number 2 running back off the board coming up. I don't see it.
I can see 3.
I can see 3. Right
You
now,
have
whatever you look at.
Price from Notre Dame.
That's number 2. They've got him listed at the 2. Whatever prospect rankings you're looking at. Obviously, clear-cut number 1, Jeremiah Love. He's a first-round draft pick.
Probably going to be top 10.
Yep. You've got Price, Notre Dame. They're throwing in there Katron Allen, Penn State. Also, Coleman, Washington. Claiborne, Wake Forest. And then checking in about the 6th spot would be Emmett Johnson. It's whatever prospect ranking you're looking at. I just have CBS up. ESPN's kind of freaking out right now on me, but
I see Emmett going back into the second, probably more likely third round guy. I could see him sneak in that second. Kind of depends how other things go. Where does Jadarian Price go at? And again, he was not a starter for Notre Dame, but he would have been a starter for just about any other college football program in the country.
Mm-hmm.
He's a really good running back, but Emmett Johnson, there's a lot to like with him. Is he the most athletically gifted running back in this year's draft? No, but in terms of the film, one of the most talented running backs.
The tape pops.
He plays the running back spot like an NFL team's going to want to. Steps in. He's a guy that immediately can contribute to most NFL teams, I think. As a starter, probably not, but he's a guy that is immediately into that rotation.
I think we're in a unique time, that one as well. That one, but we're a unique draft this year, especially when you talk quarterbacks. You're looking at maybe just one in the first round. Does Ty Simpson jump in there somewhere? Maybe.
Probably.
Late
quarterback.
Late side, but right now we're in a unique spot of maybe potentially only seeing one quarterback in the first round. Kind of let you know about what the quarterback draft looks like.
You know what? I think that's good for the league.
It is. Good for the league and the development of the quarterback room. And the kids that are jumping and looking to make that jump. Mendoza is the only one, presumably, right now that is ready to go play in the league. And he won't even be ready. Because some of these quarterbacks jump in so early, there's 5 in the top 10, and then how many are still left? They get thrown in there, underdeveloped. They never get developed and then struggle for years. And the next thing you know, they're out of the league.
Jets.
Yes.
Favorite quarterback to ever go to the Jets there.
Mark Sanchez.
I think another issue with the league, and I get it, I don't necessarily disagree with it, but I don't think it helps these teams, is whenever teams are quarterback needy, they'll just take a shot in the dark on a first-round quarterback and hope this is the guy that works out. So many of these teams, if you're picking in the top 10, you got more issues than just quarterback. So I'm kind of glad to see some of these teams that have been down on their luck are going to get some really, really good playmakers that are not at the quarterback spot that can help set you up for the future. Now, there's going to be teams in the top 10 this year that go and get themselves a playmaker that are still picking the top 10.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that speaks to the importance of the quarterback position. If you don't have the quarterback right in the NFL, you're not going to be a playoff team. You're not going to be a contender, nothing like that. But if you have a roster behind the scenes that is set to go for a rookie quarterback to step in, I think that is good for the development of these teams. It's good for the development of quarterbacks whenever you don't step into a roster that is absolutely barren. Whenever you have some guys in the team that are good culture guys, good talents, like guys that you can work with, it really helps. I mean, they had that Giants team last year with Jackson Dart.
Yep.
They lacked a quarterback, but they had talent. I mean, they have athletic freaks in the defensive side of the ball. They have a guy in Malik Neighbors, Wandale Robinson. They got it right with Scadaboo at running back. And even then, whenever Scadaboo went down, they had a good stable of backup running backs. Tracy was good for them. Like, you had pieces for Jackson Dart to go and work with. And that's why it was not a disaster rookie season for Jackson Dart. He steps into a roster that had some talent. You have a good quarterback, I think, in Russell Wilson from a mentor, have your head screwed on straight type of way. Like, that's what I think more rookie quarterbacks need. Is they need to step into an environment that has talent for them to go work in with. So it's not day one, all right, you need to go and be the guy.
Looking at a few of the mock drafts, it's also, I find it very interesting as you're just talking about those types of drafts. Interesting as you talk about those athletic guys. Very few offensive specialty guys in the first part of this draft this year. Obviously, you got Mendoza maybe at 1, not maybe, should be at 1.
Will be at 1.
You see Jeremiah Love, I think he's a top 10 guy now.
Jordan Tyson, probably top 10, top 15, right?
Yeah, right now one mock draft does have Carnell Tate, wide receiver, Ohio State, in the top 10.
I get that just because you look around the league, all the Ohio State guys that have come into the league just have such a high floor.
Yes.
They step in ready to play.
Yes, and that's just one. One draft has him in the top 10. The next draft, where you look at it, you've got receiver Lemon out of USC and Carnell Tate both falling in the top 15. But then you start going down through it and you look at it, look at this, it is very defensive side of the football in this draft.
You mean
just again, just
Sonny
based
Styles
on predictions.
from Ohio State,
Yes,
Reuben Bain.
Based on predictions.
Caleb
Ohio Downs.
Yeah, who's the other guy from Ohio State that tested crazy good?
Got Sonny Styles. He's in there. I'm going down the list here. I'm trying to remember.
Orville Reese.
Yes.
Orville Reese.
Very defensive mock drafts right now. Very defensive. If it's not defensive, then you're looking at the big boys up front on the offensive side, the Hosses on the other side of the ball, but very few far in between when you start looking at those, what you talk about, those athletic guys on the offensive side of the ball. There is one mock draft that look like that. Both mock drafts I'm looking at and do have Ty Simpson 21 and down. Some have him at 21, some have him at the last pick of the first round. Could see that happen. But a lot of that stuff is interesting.
Where do you see the Chiefs going? Number 9 overall pick. I don't want to talk about the Chiefs, but I understand there's a lot of Chiefs fans in the listening audience. So I'll try to be unbiased here. They're going to have there's a lot of different at that point in the draft. Now are guys like, you're not going to have a Reese, a Bailey, and Jeremiah Love's probably got to that point. They don't really need a running back anyway. Top wide receiver will probably have to work. I mean, you could go wide receiver, you could go tight end, you could go offensive line, you probably go defense.
I think it's defense for them, isn't it?
Or do
you have an aging defense a little bit?
Yeah.
Did they lose somebody in the back half of that
corner? They lost, or is it 2 defensive backs?
Like, is that a place where like a Caleb Downs ends up?
When you could have was it Delane from LSU? He might be there near the end of the top 10.
They've got both mock drafts, by the way, have Delane in that 11 to 12. Does he move up in that mix? Right now, currently did this one. I can't get ESPN, but like this one has David Bailey, Texas Tech edge, potentially to Chiefs.
I think he'll be gone before that.
Or a Caleb Downs.
Downs, I could see. He'll be in that 8 to 15 range probably.
A lot of other guys.
I see ESPN's got Sadiq from Oregon.
Yeah, they've got him at 11 right now.
I'm not sure the Chiefs did they go tight end?
Don't they have Gray out there?
I think wide receiver makes a ton of sense.
Wide receiver. Now, they do have an additional pick at the back half of this as well, which they do have the 29 pick as well. I think wide receiver makes a lot of sense. Offensive side of the ball makes a lot of sense.
Chiefs can also move back.
Yep.
Let's see.
How about your how you feeling about your Broncos?
I mean, they're not picking until
somebody does
back into the second round.
Somebody, are you sure? Maybe they've got some of these drafts like predict trades. Like one of these mock drafts have the Broncos moving up to the 30 back into the first.
Well, they traded that pick to the Dolphins, yeah?
Was that one gone?
I think they traded that pick.
Maybe they didn't update it.
Yeah, they traded that pick to the Dolphins.
So yeah.
So the Broncos, as it stands, their first overall pick is 60-something, 62.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen this in a lot of mock drafts. I've been shouting it from the rooftops for a long time. I think that is the perfect space to go and get the tight end from Vandy, Eli Stowers.
Mm-hmm.
Stowers, whatever it is.
Yep.
Is he the most all-around tight end? No, it's Sadiq. Is he the most athletically gifted? No, probably not. Does he step into a guy that can go out there, run some routes, catch some passes, be athletic for you? Yeah.
Sure.
That if he's still there, that should be, I think, the Broncos pick. It's a position of need, and it's a guy that would fit right into the offense.
Those are ones. I think those picks back in that area, by the way, are one of those like that is a position where your front office has to be up and up on the talent evaluation, right? That's where a lot of these teams, I think that's where they win Super Bowls and make it to playoffs. Those type of talent that you're able to evaluate in those third, fourth, and on rounds.
Before we stop talking NFL draft here, give me a team or two that you think could be one good draft away from competing for a playoff run.
Oh boy, that's a good one. That's a great question. Oh man. Are you talking about like teams in the playoffs or teams who are outside the playoffs?
There's one team that you think one good draft could change their fortunes, elevate them, maybe make them a Super Bowl contender, make them a contender for a deep playoff run. You see it every year. Last year it was really the Bears. The Bears last year changed their fortunes with it's two good drafts.
I want to say those guys, but yeah, it seems like an easy one. Man, that is such a good question.
Dare I say,
don't take my team.
The Cincinnati Bengals?
Yeah, I just feel like I was going to say that, but there's so much there. I tend to look at teams that are like closer.
Okay. Another team,
like a team looking like the Patriots. I don't know.
Another team here. Here's one that I don't think you're hearing a lot of people say. I think the New Orleans Saints could be one good draft away from being a playoff team. I like what they have in Tyler Shuck.
Yep.
They had some holes in the roster, but one good draft could take them from a team that was, what were they last year? 5-13. Excuse me, 5-12. That was bad math. To a team that's sitting at 9-8, right on the edge of that playoff run. I could see that.
I mean, can we throw the Giants back into there?
I like that.
The Giants. I looked at that like the Giants with the offensive parts they got and their ability now to have a high draft pick to go get some defensive help. And now you got a really, really good stinking coach. I think watch out for that. That's an interesting draft because they're going to go. They have to go defense on that side, and they're going to get a really good player. So I'd go Giants.
What about the Panthers? I know they made the playoffs. Could they be a draft away from being
I don't know.
Am I a true contender in the NFC?
Am I still a hater that I'm just not a believer of the Bryce Young?
I liked Bryce Young.
Last year I did too. I don't know what that's like going forward. Could we throw maybe it's a draft or two away? The Titans?
I could see it. I love Cam
coaching
Ward.
wise, they're going to build a great coaching staff. Presumably get Cam Ward developed.
I love Cam Ward.
They made some good moves. What they is Wandale there? Mm-hmm. Who else went? There were other parts that went there. Is it the Titans maybe? Are they 2 drafts away?
I think they're probably 2 drafts away.
But it's one to watch for the future. I'll go Giants. My answer is the Giants.
I like that pick. I think there are some teams to watch out for as being 1 draft away. And you can see, I mean, last year, I'll bring it back up again. And it was 2 consecutive good drafts, as well as a good head coaching hire. But last year, the Bears were that team.
Mm-hmm.
They got some great pieces in the draft that really helped them throughout the season. They got a good head coach, and you see the results.
Mm-hmm.
Made a deep run in the playoffs.
Because I think a lot of these teams, when you mention teams like that, like it's imperative. I started thinking about this. It's imperative that some of the teams we just talked about, okay? You mentioned the Bengals. That division, it's imperative that they draft well. Because the Ravens are still there. You've had Pittsburgh making you just got teams that are there. It's imperative that the Giants draft well. If you really want to make noise in the division. Still, you're still hurdling the Eagles, the Cowgirls, the boys are still there. Sorry, that was a Freudian slip to you. Sorry. But it's imperative to maintain or gain ground through the draft with some of those dominant teams over the years. I think an interesting one think about it. Like, look at that West. Whew. The team that I think is on the outside of that thing right now, because I think if the Raiders draft well, they're up and coming. I question what the Chargers got left.
Do they not? I don't think they have a first-round pick.
They don't. They don't. How far does that put them behind in that?
Oh, no, they do. They pick at 22.
Do they?
They pick at 22. I missed that.
Like, they're wasting a really good quarterback.
Last year was their best season with Justin Herbert at the helm, and where does it end?
Mm-hmm. I like your thought on the Saints. Nobody's really taken that division over.
It's a division for the taking.
It is.
I think they have the quarterback position right. Hard to say after just 1 rookie season, but I think they have the quarterback position right. They could use some investment along the offensive line. Their offensive line isn't bad, but they can use some investment there, and then big investment on the defense.
Yep.
But they have Chris Olave.
Mm-hmm.
Love him. They went and signed Travis Etienne. We got to change the pronunciation on that. Get that one right.
Etienne, not A-Chain.
No, not Etienne.
Oh,
that's a different one.
That's
It's Travis Etienne.
Mm-hmm.
He whenever he was his introductory press conference for the Saints, he said everyone's been pronouncing it wrong. It's actually Etienne.
Okay,
which is going to take a long time to get used to.
I don't like it
because now there's two Etiennes. There's Devon Etienne from the Dolphins, and there's Travis Etienne now for the Saints. Anyway,
come on, man.
I think that's a good signing for them. They got a good wide receiver. You can invest in some non-sexy positions.
Yep.
Offensive line.
It's there for the getting. With other aging
division.
With other aging situations happening.
In that division, I could see the Saints with a good draft making a run at a wild card.
Nope, I think that's the best one on the board from a futuristic look at it going forward. So, all right, let's take our final break. We'll come back and do some stories that we missed. Arlo. Caleb said the Red Sox suck. Arlo said, I'm not mad about it. Stowers first round pick. Love it.
Eight and a half minutes on the clock here.
All right, perfect. Jeez. Body cam footage of the Tiger Woods arrest.
Oh, they released?
It's out.
Oh, you talk about that with his
stepping down. Yeah.
Stepping down.
away.
Oh, and he's also going overseas convenient.
Yeah, what's that?
Dude ain't seeking any help. He's just going to get out of the limelight for a few
Months.
and then come back.
Have you broken down my vacuum situation yet?
Oh, we can get into that.
I need a take. I haven't bought it. I refuse to right now.
Dive in. What are the features of this? I know a guy who's big into vacuums. I can get his take on it.
That can't be right. That's how much they signed Kirk Cousins for?
It's a bit strange.
Yeah.
Because there's only the first year is guaranteed.
Yeah, $8.7 million in the first year.
And it's a 2-year team option.
All right,
yeah.
good gosh.
So that is a confusing looking contract.
It is. I'm like, wait a minute. They're crazy. Did you know the crown was going on?
Yeah. I saw they changed up the midcourt logo.
I went away from it. I went away. I'm like, eh. Jeez. So funny.
Oh, Arlo wants to clarify and say he wasn't talking about the Red Sox. He was talking about the Raiders getting Kirk Cousins.
Oh, are you sure? You were throwing some of that shade at
Feel free to talk as much trash about the Red Sox.
Yeah, feel free. It's okay.
Well, why Z isn't here? We can say whatever we want.
FloodX, and as the kids say, the crown is so last year.
All right, we're coming back.
Welcome back in the morning hookup. Boy, what a Thursday. Thanks for hanging out with us. We're going to send the vacuum situation out to experts. Okay.
I got a vacuum guy.
I need a read. Okay. We're going to get a read out. I don't know what to do yet. We'll figure that out. But we will do stories that we do. Maybe.
The stories we missed. The morning hookup.
You know me, I'm a big golf guy. I like golf. I'm pretty excited. April 17th, freshly after the Masters are done, the next installment of Full Swing will debut. This will be electric. It's going to put a highlight on Europeans' win at the Ryder Cup. A lot of stories, probably untold stories from that event, which we know was a toxic event at times. That'll be on April 17th, installment of Full Swing Golf. Speaking of that, if you want good golf, you want desperation, right now the Valero Open. This is the last chance for golfers to move up the rankings or have to win to make the Masters next week. And right now, I know this is like such a long way away. It's a haul. Ricky Fowler. Where'd he go? He was right there. I lost his name. He was leading earlier, but he's not anymore. Okay. Ricky Fowler's one. He's got to win to make it to the Masters. He's part of that young group, that Speed Thomas group that were the young and up and comers. And he's one that's made his way back, just not fully back yet.
Can I say all those young up and comers have all kind of fizzled just a bit.
Hasn't been great.
Hasn't been great at all.
Will Zalatoris is in that mix right now. He's trying to make his way back. A lot of guys all some electric. Max Homa. Boy, I like Max Homa. Really like Max. He's a good one. So that's happening right now. 4 rounds to glory coming up.
Did we get into, I don't think we got into this at all, unless you guys did it yesterday. The new rule changes for the NFL in 2026.
We did not.
They're all pretty minor. Let it be known. 3 of them relate to kickoff. So first 3, the kicking team is allowed to declare an onside kick at any time during the game.
That used to be
just the final 2 minutes.
Now it's any time of the game we can onside kick. All right.
They've eliminated that team's incentive to initially kick the ball out of bounds when kicking from the 50, because it used to just be if you're kicking from the 50, you can just kick it out of bounds and the ball would still go at the 25-yard line. Because the rule was if you kick it out of bounds, you move it up 25 yards from the ball is kicked. And yeah,
isn't it fun that no matter what rules in place in business and life, there's always a loophole.
Yep.
And then there's another change to a change. And
then there's been a slight modification of the where the receiving players are allowed to stand for the kickoff. It used to be they had to be in the field of play. I believe they're now allowed to stand in the end zone if they so choose. But the maybe the most important one, it relates to the NFL refs. They are now going to allow, for 1 year only, the NFL officiating department, so back in wherever the league offices are, to correct clear and obvious mistakes made by on-field officials that impact the game in the event that there is a work stoppage. So if you have replacement refs, the NFL league office can now step in and correct mistaken, say a flag is thrown, there's no penalty. League can step in and correct that. If they miss a penalty call, the league can step in and declare a penalty. If you are working with people that are not a part of the NFL officiating union.
The B crew. All right.
Also,
minor changes.
Yeah, the other one, permanently, they allow league personnel to consult with on-field officials when considering disqualifications for football and non-football flagrant acts.
Okay.
So before disqualification, the league can confer with the officials and see what they've shown. Yep. So,
boy, I tell you what, I'm going to say this and being all funny. He's healthy. It worked out, but is there like baseball karma? Did you see plate umpire CB Buckner yesterday? See this? He's behind the plate.
Oh, yeah.
Foul ball. He got smoked. Sorry, it's not funny. That's not baseball karma. They're like, I guess if you can't call him right, get him out.
Those foul tips off the mound.
I know. I can't imagine. I saw the review yesterday. He went down and was helped off the field.
And the older you get, the worse those become. And I've even experienced that in my days. Like the neck muscles weaken as you get older, and those ones that pop you in the face, they just start to hurt. They start to rattle the brain more and more.
Just a little bit, yeah.
It's in terms of the pain of like, there's not much with the impact to like your face or anything, but it's all the rattle of the brain whenever it knocks your head.
Yeah,
back
I
a little
could.
bit.
Yeah. So an unfortunate situation that I'm making fun of a little bit. He is healthy, he's fine, but we all know his documented issues with the ABS challenge system.
A fun thing that you might not know about those, and they come back and hit you in the mask, is you get the double whammy whenever it tips off the bat like that, and then it hits your mask. You'll actually smell burning leather for a little bit because of the way the
way it spits.
Yeah, the way it hits off your mask, it smells like burning leather.
Like
for a
something's
little bit
on fire in your face.
Yeah, it does. Just from the way like that leather contacts the metal.
We mentioned it earlier as well. Tiger Woods is their body footage is out there now and all that. He has what we thought would happen. He will not be the United States Ryder Cup captain in 2027, as he is off to seek treatment, which is interesting because he's been given permission to leave the country to seek treatment.
I think I know what this means. He ain't seeking no treatment. He is going to some island where he's just going to sit back, kick his feet up, and relax for 2 months, wait for this whole storm to blow over, and come on back, right?
You would think. I don't know, man. It's weird. It's weird. I don't know how they allow it. That seems like, to me, a privileged situation. Because he's seeking privacy, I guess, or whatever they're calling the privacy of a star. But whatever. I do hope he gets healthy at the end of the day as a person.
Well, compare it to the Puka situation.
Yep.
Another thing we haven't talked about. Puka Nacua off to alcohol rehab after some of his issues in recent months.
Those
live streams and biting people. And
those allegations are weird, man.
He seems to have some sort of issue, so he's actually off to rehab. That's been well publicized, which
yes,
it gets well publicized for a day, and then the guy goes off to rehab. You don't talk like. I understand whenever you're in the public eye, like you want that privacy, but I mean, they have so many great celebrity rehab facilities that allow you great privacy. I don't see the need to go overseas. Also, you're Tiger Woods. You're just as big a star overseas as you are in the United States.
They describe this one as holistic, as offering services for those battling drug and alcohol addiction, chronic pain, and mental health conditions. So this is an overall approach. Again, do what you got to do, man. Help you as a person, as an individual, get healthy in these situations, right? And that not just for stars, but if there's anyone out there battling those situations, hope there's avenues for you to get help and you make the right, or people around you help you make the right decisions to go get help. I hope for both of these individuals and everyone out there that battles it, that it's not about the sport, man. It's about your life going forward, being a productive person in society to contribute and give to others. And that. Boy, tomorrow's a Husker Homer Friday. We'll preview Final Four. We'll look at Husker baseball.
I'd say a big Husker baseball weekend, but it's Penn State.
Yeah, but I tell you, still big. Stacking wins, stacking RPI, just whatever it counts. Don't have bad losses. So we'll do baseball, preview the Final Four, give our thoughts, and a whole lot more. You guys have a great Thursday. We'll catch you on a Husker Homer Friday.